Hi there, Kristen Brown here, and I wanted to help you not write off Sundays. So my dad has always said this, don't write off Sundays. And I have really taken that seriously over the years because, there's that Monday mindset that sets in, whether you love your job, whether you hate your job, it's like, oh, the weekend's over. And so I've really taken it to heart, that don't write off Sundays mantra that my dad always says. And so I'm starting a new series. Every Sunday, I'm gonna help you to not write off Sundays so that you can both enjoy every last moment of your weekend and really squeeze the awesomeness out of it, but also to set yourself up for success for the week ahead so that you don't have that dread of overloaded to-do lists and things like that 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 we all have coming up in the week ahead, which can often set us up for that Sunday night blues because of Monday coming. So we want to ditch that Monday mindset and we want to have a Sunday that is awesome and filled with fun and relaxation and awesomeness, but also a little tinge of stuff to set you up for success for the week ahead. So I'm actually developing a tracker that will help you with this, that you can actually get and sort of track every day. I don't want to call it a journal because it's not really that, but right now it's in this form. So until it actually becomes the actual tracker, I'm just going to kind of walk you through it on Sundays as we do this Don't Write Off Sunday series. And really thinking about, okay, so you went into the weekend, right? And you're like, okay, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I want to do all this fun stuff. And hopefully you did some fun stuff, but did you do fun stuff at the expense of actually relaxing? Because there's fun and there's go, go, go and being busy, especially in the summer in the Midwest where I live. It's like, oh my gosh, every weekend gets taken up and then you're actually more exhausted on Sunday night than you were going into it. So at what cost was the fun to your actual happiness and health and feeling good? Because a lot of times, oh, it was so fun to be on the boat all day, but I'm now sunburned and hungover and I don't feel good and I'm exhausted. And so obviously I love boats, so I'm never going to tell you to not go off a boat. But how are you stacking everything up so that it all fills you up rather than drains you? Because even fun stuff can be draining. Even fun stuff can distract you from what you actually really want to accomplish when it comes to your weekends and your fun time. So really stepping back and saying, okay, what did I want to have happen this weekend? Did I do it? And do I actually feel good? Because weekends are supposed to energize you, make you, really feel great and kind of balance out, not work-life balance, because I don't believe in that, that's a big myth, but really help balance out the drains that can happen during the week. You want your weekends to fill you back up, to get you ready for the week. So if you've had a weekend, here we are on Sunday, if you've had a weekend that was really packed and really fun, that's awesome. But is there something more you could do if you're feeling actually a little bit drained or a little bit tired or a little bit crazy and overloaded? Something you could squeeze in still today, because you have this half the weekend left still, all day today. So is there something you could squeeze in to shift the energy in your body so that you're actually syncing up the relaxation portion of your brain that ties to fun? So maybe you love hiking in the woods alone, but all weekend, I'm an introvert, and all weekend you've been with people. So maybe you just need a 20 or 30 minute trip into the woods to help kind of reset you so that the fun that you had all day yesterday is still fun, but it doesn't start to then suck all your energy. So today you're doing something that fills you up just for you. And vice versa, if you're an introvert, maybe, if you were doing stuff with people and you need to go be alone, you have to really be clear with the people that you spend time with that, hey, this is not about you. This is just, I need me time for just a little bit to recharge, to re-energize, to get myself back to where I need to be so that I feel good. That's not selfish. You shouldn't feel guilty about that. That's just honoring who you are, what you need to really be your best self. And that will help you have a better feeling about the weekend and also get you more prepared for the week ahead. So that's one thing to think about. On the other hand, if you're an extrovert, if you've had a weekend where you were kind of, doing stuff at home and you weren't really getting the contact, maybe you didn't do anything social, maybe today, get yourself out, go do something with a friend. Even go out to a public place and just hang out, go to a coffee shop, something like that. So figuring out, what is it that you need to be sure that you're filled up and that you're maximizing the fun and you're not letting the fun drain you. So that'll really help with your energy. So my little action step for you today is, okay, what do you need to do to really make sure that you're maximizing your weekend? You're enjoying every last drop and you're ending it on a solid positive note that helps kind of bring it all together so that you think back on the weekend and think, awesome, that's exactly what I wanted to have had happen. Okay, so then if you're thinking about the week ahead, then it's thinking, okay, I don't want to work on a Sunday. I don't want you to work on a Sunday. I mean, we all do sometimes, and that's cool. And, I'm a business owner, so I'm definitely, my hair's going wacky over here. Sorry. And I always work on Sundays, and today, I'm working right now, technically, I guess. But, how can you look at your week ahead and say, okay, how do I make sure that throughout the week, we have roller coaster weeks, right? Or we're doing this and this and this, and then we have meetings and we have stuff after work and we have kids stuff and we have all these things. How can you be sure that as you look at the week ahead and you look at that flow of energy, where you're going to be outputting, where you're going to be getting inputs of self-care or fun stuff or whatever, and making sure that that's balanced. And again, it's not work-life balance. That's a big, ugly word. It's really just syncing up the energy. That's why my company's called Nama Sync. It's syncing up the energy so that you say, okay, on the days I know I'm going to be sucked dry, like I've got a million meetings, I've got stuff after work, I've got stuff with the kids, I've got a bunch of stuff to do, that those are the days that you say, okay, I got to build in a little bit of me time. Even if it's like just over lunch, you're running out to do something that you love to do. Maybe you're a chick like me and you want to go get a manicure, or, also like me, I love to just be in the woods. So maybe you just take a quick little 15 or 20 minute hike in the woods. We can all squeeze that time in. It's you prioritize what is important to you, and if your own energy, your own productivity, your own mindset and happiness are important to you, then you will ensure that you fit those things in. And then on the other hand, those days when you have awesomeness all day long, right? Like you're doing stuff you love, you've maybe got something fun after work, the kids that are going to be taken care of, maybe they're going to grandma's and you're going to have a little me time or whatever. You've got a day in the week where it's like awesome. Maybe that is a day where you have to also squeeze in a little something that you've been avoiding or dreading. And I'm not saying like, oh, on an awesome day, create some stress. But when you're already feeling good and the endorphins are flying high and you're already energized and charged up, how can you say, okay, I want to use that to propel me and give me momentum and motivation to work on the things that have been holding you back, that you've been just delaying, procrastinating on, because the endorphin energy will boom, boom, boom. That will kick you in the butt every darn time. So when you're looking at your week ahead on a Sunday, every Sunday we're going to do this, just look at the week ahead and say, okay, what have I got? And if you want right now, pull out your calendar, look at your phone and, look at the calendar on there or whatever you need to do and say, okay, Mondays I'm not great because I'm stressed out because it's Monday. So what can you build in that day? Tuesday, it's going to be a pretty good day. Okay, that's the day I'm going to also work on this other project at work that I've been just procrastinating on. Wednesday, Thursday, and you do that every day and you just look, and of course things pop up. Of course you're going to be putting out fires sometimes at work. Of course stuff pops up in your personal life. That's life, right? So it's knowing that in advance you've done a little bit of pre-planning today on Sunday. Don't write off Sundays for the week ahead, so you've got a little bit of control over that schedule. And then as things pop up, it's really getting used to owning your energy and saying, okay, I know that when something triggers me, I get cranky resting face and people do not like being around me because I'm a total you-know-what. So how can you in the moment start to recognize those energy shifts in you when you know you're rising up and when you know you're being drained, so that you can course correct on the fly? And using the little things that I teach with Nama Sync or what I teach from stage, I've been doing that for years already with my power shots. But now in a bigger way, really giving you those little tools, those little things that you can do to change the way that you show up to the world, even when you're triggered, and making sure that your roller coaster of a life doesn't create ripple effects that you don't intend it to. So hopefully that makes sense. So a couple little things for you to do today, to not write off Sundays. One, what are you going to do today that will totally fill you up? Not because your family or your friends or everyone else wants to do it, but just simply for you. Squeeze in something today that just absolutely will put a bow on your weekend. So that's your first little action step. And it can be just 5 minutes if you need it to be. Another thing is, the second action step is look at your calendar, look at the ebbs and flows, the rises and falls throughout the week of where you think you might have energy dips, energy drains, and energy spikes. and what can you do to really maximize both of those things so that you can stay motivated, engaged, you can show up as you want to show up at work and not let the unintended consequences of being stressed impact how people perceive you because of the actions and behaviors that you're putting out. So don't write off Sunday, make it amazing. Try those couple of things, and eventually I will have this little tracker for you, but I'm still in the process of getting that all written and published up for you. So stay tuned for that. And then in the meantime, if you want to check out my energy program, Energy Boost Camp, that's launching in a couple weeks, I will put a link to it. Every single week for 7 weeks, you will get a video, a little short video similar to this, 10 to 15 minutes, a little bit longer, with really specific ways to amp up your energy in different power centers of your body. So we'll talk about motivation, we'll talk about creativity, we'll talk about confidence, we'll talk about communication and relationships, strategy and vision, and these are all things that you can use at work to really amp up your leadership, your sales, your interactivity with coworkers, and you can use them at home, of course, as well, but the focus really is, how do you create a really awesome, kind of shine up everything that you've been doing. Take the edges off, get yourself ready for fall. Back to school is coming, that's kind of a crazy time. And so it's just a really nice way to bridge the gap between summer and fall, because it's 7 weeks, it starts in a couple weeks, so it'll get you all the way through to that first week of October and really give you a great way to get your energy shifted and aligned and ready for whatever you want to make happen over the rest of the year. So I'll put a link to that. It's a really awesome investment in yourself, really affordable. It's like $1 or $2 a day, I think, if you look at the overall cost of the thing. And it's really a great way for you to power up. So anyway, hopefully you are going to have a great day, and don't write off Sunday. And thanks for following me, and we will see you soon.